What is going on, everybody? It is your boy Hobo here today, and today we're going to be running down week 8 now of the NFL regular season, and good lord has this season just flown by. We're almost at the 10th week. We're at the midway point of the season already, and geez, man, I don't want football to end, but the playoffs are approaching pretty rapidly, and it's all going to get here very, very quickly, and I'm very sad about that because football is my life, pretty much. So here we go. Thursday night game, October 27th. That'll be tomorrow night. Jaguars at Titans. Going to be a fun one. I remember last year's Thursday night game with the baby blue powdered Titans and the mustard ass Jaguars. These two teams are both teams struggling. They're trying to find their footing in the AFC South. In my opinion, the Titans are the better team. They got a better quarterback. They got better receivers. They got a better defense. But the Jaguars aren't that bad. I mean, I know I just said that the Titans are better. Sure, they're better, but I'm not sure by how much. The Jaguars are a good football team. I know the record is not indicative of how good they are as a football team, but they're a young group that's going to grow and develop. They're like the Los Angeles Lakers of the NFL, the Jaguars are. They're going to become a good team here soon enough. They have a really young team. It's developing. They're going to create some chemistry with each other, and they're going to be a good squad, but other than all of that, the Titans are going to pick up the win tomorrow night on Thursday Night Football. Starting with the Sunday, October 30th games, a lot of fun we're going to have. And let's start with the 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time London game. The Redskins at the Bengals, even though really both teams are away, but a team still has to be home. So fun. The Redskins are without starting cornerback Josh Norman with a concussion. He went out last week against the Lions. Kirk Cousins still has not shown me any reason to think that he is a credible threat at the quarterback position. Their wide receivers are lackluster at best, and their defense, they've only really had maybe 2 good games all season long, but the Bengals are a well-rounded team. Andy Dalton is an animal on offense. Their running backs are doing very well. Their offensive line blocking well. Their defense they're doing what they're told to do. They're getting out there. They're getting stops, creating turnovers. The Bengals are the far superior team, and they're going to pick up the win in London, England. Chiefs at Colts. You guys all know my thoughts on the Indianapolis Colts by now. The Kansas City Chiefs are a better team. They have the better quarterback. They have better wide receivers. And you're all probably going to say, oh, but T.Y. Hilton on the Colts is so good. No, he's not. Okay, step back. Andrew Luck, all he does is throw the long ball to T.Y. Hilton, and that's all that they have on offense. And that's sad. Frank Gore, I feel bad for him that he has to play with such a terrible offensive line. He cannot run the ball. The Colts defense is absolutely terrible. How did they let up all of those late game comebacks, and the Jaguars game, I believe it was, and the Jaguars beat them, and the Lions game, and the Lions beat them. Like, these are just losses that the Colts shouldn't have, but it's indicative of the fact that they're a bad team. The Chiefs, good team. Chiefs over Colts. Cardinals at Panthers. The Panthers they're really on their last legs. They're a struggling team here in Week 8. And the Cardinals are really starting to get some of that firepower back that they had. They just tied last week with Seattle, which was a game that I did not expect going down like that at all. I expected Seattle to go out and rout the Cardinals, but they stuck in there, and their defense showed why they're one of the top units in the NFL, and they're going to go out and stop Cam Newton and the Panthers. Cardinals over Panthers. Raiders at Buccaneers. I always like these Raiders-Buccaneer matchups because they're, like with the Jaguars and the Titans, 2 young teams who are really going to start to pick it up here in the coming years. And the Raiders are such a talented group. On offense, they're a high-powered group. On defense, they can create stops and force pressure on the quarterback. And the Buccaneers, they've got a good defense, and they've got Jameis Winston and Mike Evans, and that's a dangerous combo right there. This game is really a toss-up for me. It's like a heads or tails situation, 50-50, but I'm going to have to go with the Raiders over the Buccaneers. Seahawks at Saints. The last time I remember these two teams going at it, it was a doozy, and beast mode was created. But, yeah, the Saints, they're not the unit that they have been in previous years. Their defense is not very good at all. Drew Brees is the heart and soul of the New Orleans Saints. When he's gone and out of there, I don't know what the hell that team's going to do. They're going to be so terrible, it will not even be funny. And the Seahawks, they're probably the most well-rounded team in football today. And, their defense is really damn good. Their offense can do what most offenses can't do, and that's score points. And I know that I just said that and they just tied at a 6-6 tie with the Cardinals, but they're a really good high motor, explosive team that can get those explosive plays from out of nowhere, and the Seahawks are going to beat the Saints on Sunday. Lions at Texans. This is going to be a fun game. The Texans, they are looking worse and worse every week, and I want so hard to be the biggest Texans fan that you can find, but they're just giving me no reason really to believe in them this season. The Lions, on the other hand, are very impressive. They're poised to make a run, possibly at the NFC North. If they can knock off the Packers, then they could easily finish in second place in that division and get to the playoffs, which would be very hard to do. The Vikings, they're still not a cinch for first either. And the Packers, really, they aren't, but the Bears are terrible, so let's just get that thought out of our minds. But the Lions are a good team. I expect them to be good for the rest of the season. They're going to beat the Texans here on Sunday. Patriots at Bills. Always fun to watch the Patriots go up against one of their rivals in the AFC East. Those matchups are really always fun. You can never go wrong with the Patriots versus anybody from their own division game. And the Bills are good. They're not as good maybe as we would have thought that they would be at this point, but I feel like they've overcome a lot of adversity in order to get to where they are now. Whether that be locker room issues, on the field issues, things of any of that nature. But the Bills are a really solid team, and the Patriots, they're just an offensive juggernaut. I know that they relied on their defense for a large portion of the beginning of the season. For the first 4 weeks when Brady was out, they had to rely on that defense, but now that Brady's back, it's a whole different dynamic. But I feel like the Patriots are going to eke this one out here against the Bills. Jets at Browns. Oh boy, this is going to be a really terrible game to watch if you're a fan of football. Even if you're a casual fan, or a Jets fan, or a Browns fan, which I don't think exists. But this game is going to be terrible. But the Jets are they're going to be able to beat the Browns. Both these teams are terrible, but the Jets will beat the Browns on Sunday. Chargers at Broncos. The last time these two teams met this season was fun, to say the least. The Chargers won that game, which surprised the hell out of me. But I feel like the Broncos are going to be able to come back this time and knock them down a peg. Broncos over Chargers. Packers at Falcons. This is going to be a fun game. I love Matt Ryan versus Aaron Rodgers. These two quarterbacks are amazing. Aaron Rodgers, maybe the numbers aren't showing it that he's been solid this season, but he's really been solid this season, and everybody's hitting the panic button on Aaron Rodgers, but what he said last year is still the same. Relax, because Rodgers is going to get this thing done, and the Packers are going to be one of the best teams in the NFC by the end of the year. But the Falcons, I love Matt Ryan and AJ Green, Julio Jones. I love these guys. Their connection is amazing. If they can get their connection to click on Sunday, then they're gonna beat the Packers. But if Jordy Nelson and Aaron Rodgers get hot, then it's the Packers coming out with the win. Wow, I cannot speak through this game. This is weird, but I think it's because I don't even know who to pick. This game is such a toss-up. They're so evenly matched, too. That's the problem. You know what? I'm going to have to go with the Packers, eking this one out maybe by a field goal or even less. 2 points, 1 point maybe. It's going to be something like that. Eagles at Cowboys. Oh, man. Boy, do I love me some Eagles-Cowboys. I'd like it more if they tied like the Cardinals and the Seahawks did last week, but it's probably very unlikely to happen. On Sunday Night Football, the Eagles... Carson Wentz has not been the same quarterback he's been through the first 7 weeks of the season, maybe even through the first 6 or 5 weeks through the season. He fell off a cliff last week, too, against Minnesota. Good Lord, he performed awfully against the Vikings. But the Cowboys, they're probably the best offensive team in the NFL, maybe? I don't know. Maybe the Patriots will give them a run for their money, but the Cowboys certainly, they have a high-powered offense. Dak Prescott, his favorite receiver is Cole Beasley, and they've seemed to find a good, solid connection over the course of 8 weeks. And Ezekiel Elliott is a monster. The only reason why I'm giving him so much credit is because he's on my fantasy football team, and I need him to score points. This is such an evenly matched game. When you think about it, the Eagles defense versus the Cowboys offense, and then the Eagles offense versus the Cowboys defense. You know what? I hate to say it, but the Cowboys are going to beat the Eagles in this game. As much as it pains me, it literally brings me physical pain, but the Cowboys will beat the Eagles. Vikings at Bears on Monday Night Football. You all know how this game's going to go. The Bears are a pitiful team. They're just slightly above Cleveland Brown level, but they are absolutely terrible. The Vikings, through the first 7 weeks of the season, looked unstoppable. Clearly, that's not the case because the Eagles stopped them last week, but they're going to get right back on track against this terrible Bears team. They're going to whitewash them, destroy them, maim them, murder them. It's not going to be pretty, but it's going to be fun to watch if you're an offensive fan. Vikings are going to destroy the Bears on Monday Night Football. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is your Week 8 in the NFL. We're already halfway done with the season. That's kind of scary to think about, but the playoffs are always fun, as we all know, and it's going to be even more fun this season because all the teams look so good. There's not a lot of bad teams in the NFL that you can point out. But, with my Giants on a bye week, I'm just glad I'm going to be able to kick back and enjoy some football this week, more than I have pretty much all season long. So it's going to be really fun this Sunday for me, and this Thursday and this Monday. Some fun football coming up for me this week. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, drop a like down below, leave a comment, and hit that subscribe button. If you have not already, show some love for this channel, and I'll show some love right back somehow, some way. I'll do it, damn it. And that's going to do it for me, your boy Hobo, and I will catch you guys in the next video.